Real talk, unedited, unfiltered, stream of consciousness, courageous conversations. Period. Hello, and my name is Jamie Rose, and reflecting upon these discoveries in the mountains of Denver, I have been exploring outside of my comfort zone area and finding new ways to ground. And it's such a beautiful challenge with the self because when we tune into that energy that's always there, we can flow with it and ground it in any way. So I like to think of the metaphor of this energy exchange similar to lightning. And if you're familiar with Avatar, they explain how they use the current of lightning, and you need to segue that energy. So bringing it from the source to the ground is very metaphorical of all of the things we're learning on this journey forward. And I am taking this moment to honor all of the exchanges of energy and new friends and feelings that have created possibilities for me to continue pursuing my passions. And this is part of it. So I appreciate the openness and heart centered love in this exchange. And reflecting on my discoveries in Denver, I had the opportunity to connect and exchange with beautiful souls, and I felt so seen on a deep level, and truly belonging is the feeling that arose for me during this trip. And it has been such an action-packed adventure, and it has taught me many lessons to ebb and flow, embracing flexibility, also over preparing without being paranoid is a big one, because when traveling solo, the responsibility is all there. So this has been a great moment or collection of moments of me discovering with myself, looking in the mirror at my reflection in the light and also the shadow, honoring the yin and the yang, and expressing gratitude that I was able to have deep conversations about this with other beings, and it was magical. And in those moments, we received signs like dragonflies and wild turkeys and elk, and seeing the moon in the sky and beautiful numbers everywhere. It's just been so special, and I will continue honoring this beautiful bond that is demonstrating our interconnectedness of everything. And I'm honoring the ego and the judgmental voices and storyline with what this society is supposed to do, and letting go and leaning into the natural flow. So, the natural flow in the forest here in the mountains of Colorado has rivers and creeks all down the mountains, and it was such a beautiful aspect of nature to reflect upon on the drive from Estes Park back to Denver. And it was just so metaphorical of the flow of life, how we keep flowing and going and feeling, and how rocks that are in the river get edged away and become smooth and smaller and more shaped over time of being in that current. And it's just so deep, and I feel like there's so many different ways we can interpret each of these signs. And I'm grateful that there is this awakening happening where we connect with this flow state and co-create. It's just so magical. I will continue honoring this and creating space for it to be honored in community, and experiencing the community of Colorado is so interesting. And I know I just started to almost say Delaware, and it's just so funny. Well, maybe it's not funny, but in Colorado they have street names of different states, and we drove past and it said Delaware, and I was just laughing because I went to school there for college, and it's just so interesting to see that in Colorado. So that's just a side note of the discoveries, but letting go of the labels and trusting the signs and appreciating gratitude. And the community here has been so welcoming and loving. Everyone that I have crossed paths with has been extremely kind and understanding, and I can't wrap my head around the time that has just passed, because it's been magical. So part of the reason that I felt called to record and reflect on this journey and just soak it in and try to remember all of the amazing things that have happened, because I have been so present that I'm not documenting. And I think that this is a great way to enjoy the last night of the beauty. So tonight I'm staying at the Clayton Members Hotel in Denver on Clayton Street, and it is immaculate. I feel so welcomed here. If anyone is traveling solo in Denver, I highly recommend this beautiful space. And I have been nourishing my soul with all of the delicious food, and it's been amazing. And tonight I went to a Reiki sound bath at Urban Sanctuary in Rhino, and it was so special. And it was my first time there. Everyone was so kind, and I felt a sense of belonging in this beautiful community here. And it reminds me that we are all connected from anywhere we are, and we are all community of communities. And how can we appreciate and lean into that more and keep supporting one another? So I bought a shirt and feel like it was a great souvenir from my trip of the last day, with myself. And I am reminding myself that the more and deeper I lean into this flow state, like that river, and trust, the more naturally the transformation will continue to flow. And I'm letting go of my judgmental, mindful comments and am appreciating that I still have a beautiful evening with myself, and I've been treating myself by eating lots and lots of delicious food while nourishing my body and tasting the food. So taking a bite and having this full sensory immersive experience. And that was one of my favorite quotes from the wedding. Someone was giving a toast and they mentioned the 5 senses of and love, how that love is something that you can experience so deeply and perhaps even have a 6th sense with. So it was just such a beautiful reminder and sign that love is everywhere, in everything, and we can experience this life through love. Imagine all of your sensory discoveries through this lens of love, feeling the ripple effect of someone driving by in this time and space and translating into a future moment. Everything happens for a reason. We are exactly where we need to be. We are free. Sending love and light your way. Namaste.